My name's Nahid Stevens and I'm a veterinary anatomic pathologist. So after becoming a veterinarian, I then went back to become a veterinary pathologist. And a pathologist is someone who studies disease, why it arises and why animals die, and obviously to better understand how we can try and prevent and control that. So what sets Murdoch apart in the Bachelor of Science and why Murdoch makes a really great place to study science is that there's a lot of opportunities and such a diverse range of science programs here at Murdoch. So the basic Bachelor of Science is a 3-year program, and there are multiple minors that you can feed into that, but then it opens up a wide set of doorways, if you like, because you can study things like environmental science, data science. You could then apply to get into a postgrad degree such as Doctor of Veterinary Medicine. There are so many options. Here at Murdoch we have the only on-campus vet farm. We also have a second vet farm which is off-site, but it really does make a difference for students to have easy access to teaching animals, pracs on site, and being close to the centralised campus, the staff, the community, rather than having to spend a period of time living off campus and well away from their families and the staff of the veterinary programs. The first 3 years of that 5-year postgraduate degree is very much didactic teaching. However, there are practical components in terms of workshops, practicals, labs associated with the different units, and they're very hands-on. The students also have to complete a certain number of weeks of what are called extramural practical time, work experience at a variety of veterinary practices, wildlife rehab centres, depending on what their interests are. Once they get into their 4th and 5th years, we call those the clinical years of the veterinary program, and they spend most of their time doing very practical hands-on things where they're in the clinic, following clinicians, following the specialty areas like pathology, for example, coming around with us and helping us work up our cases and working through them with us as they would do in practice. So it's very, very practical in the last 2 years. So in terms of advice for future science students that I would have is to keep your options as broad and as open as possible, because it's rare for a lot of people to know what they want to do. You may need to come to university and do a broad undergraduate science degree first before you decide, I really enjoyed genetics, or I really enjoyed lab medicine, and then you narrow down further. So keep your options open by studying maths, biology, chemistry, physics, but don't forget about communication, because you can have great ideas, but if you can't communicate them, they're not worth very much. So make sure that you pursue your options for communication as well, whether that obviously English literature, but perhaps media. Those sorts of things can also be very important in getting your point across. It's really important for women to go down the STEM route because we are still reasonably outnumbered in STEM, and without having good, strong female role models who we can actually look up at and follow, it's very hard to pursue a career in STEM. Also, women are great multitaskers, so I really strongly believe that we're very good at applying ourselves to these very broad disciplines in STEM. Every day is different. So I might get to see a horse in the morning, a kangaroo in the afternoon. It's so varied.